welcome everyone one more time here in live Facebook. We're creating this video with the purpose of educating, but we also have some guests. Okay, today we have Joseph. Okay, how old are you, Joseph?
I'm 23.
Okay, Joseph's my son, by the way. Okay, he looks more like mom. He's the good-looking part of mom is in him. Okay, well, thank you, Joseph. We live in a time when these crises have placed people into a lot of feeling of discontent, anxiety, stress. Okay.
Yeah.
Your life has been a life of crisis. Okay. Health issues, have put you in many occasions in the hospital. You had to undergo surgery, go through the process of healing, which is not the fun. Okay.
No.
What will be your counsel to all the audience today about how you can conduct yourself and handle crisis?
Well, first off, you're not that much taller than me. I'm just sitting, like this. And also, we got Brownie here today, so say hello to Brownie. But to answer your question, something I've found and I've had to deal with early on was obviously this temptation to compare. This temptation to compare myself with other people is really what it boiled down to. I blamed it a lot of the time when I was a kid on my condition. I blamed it on what other people thought of me. I blamed it on how people would look at me, or the fact that girls didn't seem to want to date me, or things like that. But my low self-esteem really just came down to me comparing myself to other people, comparing myself to what I thought beauty was, what I thought strength was, what I thought constituted a good life. And I think that tends to be a problem for a lot of people, even before the crisis. But I think right now, people are comparing their lives right now to what it used to be. And that is what is causing a lot of people to become depressed and restless and think that this whole thing is not fair. But fairness is an illusion. Fairness, the whole concept of fairness never really existed to begin with. It was always something that we came up with to try and to compare, to continue that perpetuate that cycle of comparing. Now, for those of you who don't know, I mean, this is how skinny I am. These are what my hands look like. And I have scars. I have scars all over my body. I've had a lot of surgeries. I've had heart issues. I currently have chronic back pain that keeps me lying down most of the time. It's uncomfortable to sit down right now, but I'm doing it because of you people. So thank you so much. But the point is that I have so much in my life that most people would agree it would be terrible things to go through. But I kind of, in a crazy way, I disagree. You see, I think we attach meaning to things, right? We decide what an event is going to mean to us. So when something hard or difficult or painful happens, we can judge it as being unfair. We can judge it as being something that ruins our lives. For me, I could, and I've thought this way before as a teenager and even as an adult. I've had moments where I've thought, man, my life was over before it even began because of my condition, because I was born with this, because that's unfair. But the truth is, I get to attach the meaning to that. So it doesn't have to mean that my life is horrible, and it doesn't mean that. That's not how I see it. I see the things that I've been through, and I see my condition as a teacher. I see it as something that makes me unique. I see it as something that gives me a unique perspective. And so when bad things happen to us, yes, they're hard, and yes, no one would blame you for becoming depressed and becoming bitter, but I think you get to decide if that's actually going to happen, or if you're going to take this opportunity, if you're going to see it as a burden or see it as a blessing in disguise, as they put it. And that's really all that I've strived to put that mentality into my life, in spite of the things that I have to go through and the things that I still go through. Because my condition, I've went through a lot of surgeries, and I don't go through a lot of surgeries anymore. They were mostly in my childhood, but I still go through. My condition is going to be with me until I die. It's a genetic condition, incurable, and I am perfectly okay with that.
So what you're describing is that this world is beautiful and it's perfect.
Yes.
And what you're saying is basically to everybody that is listening to you, it is you make a decision and then you create these illusions, these ideas. And then if you get stuck with those ideas, you are suffering. If you choose the other way, like how you had, instead of sitting there waiting to die, no, or blaming or trying to feel that everybody owes you something, you are proactive. And I know that you work and you also have skills and you have talents and you sing and you do a lot of stuff. Even you write, you do videos. So you feel that you have a mission on your own, no? And you create a world where you can see clearly.
Well, let me tell you, I am able to do that because I focus on the things that I can control. I acknowledge what I can't control. I am aware that I have Marfan Syndrome. I don't delude myself into thinking that it's not real, because it is. But the difference between that and being bitter about it and letting it control my life is that I focus on the things that I can do. I focus on how I can work around my issues. I focus on how I can work through them, rather than wishing that they were never there, or hiding from them, or being dishonest about them.
And you live and explore life just the same as all of us. No, there are emotions.
Yeah.
And how you deal with that when moments of sadness come.
It's okay to be sad.
Okay.
I think I get sad a lot.
But there is something
I
good.
cry a lot. I cried yesterday.
Yeah, there's something good that you do. You express what you feel, and that's something that it's a help. Most people don't do that. They just keep it.
Well, it's because a lot of people aren't honest with themselves.
Okay, so
a lot of people would rather hide.
Okay.
Because it's too painful to them. But what they don't realize is that it's a lot more painful to hold these things back than it is to just address them.
So that's like a cancer, no, that grows.
Yes.
If you don't really open up. And so Joseph has been teaching us today, and this has been really one of the greatest interviews I had. Okay.
Thanks.
Not only because he's my son, but he is just a recent inspiration. I'm so glad that he was placed in our home. Mom and I, we cry a lot when we know the diagnosis when you're a little baby. But then we realized that there was something great. And of course, we couldn't foresee, like 23 years ago, that you would be like such an amazing inspiration. We couldn't see really. I mean, there was some pain, but then we finally liberate ourselves through those pains, and we choose to be proactive and enjoy your life. Well, thank you much, Joseph.
Thank you, Dad.
You are amazing. Okay, and everybody there should be agreeing that being a friend of him, it could be the best thing. that it can happen to you. But thank you.
Stop.
Thank you, Joseph.
Love
Love
you.
you.